is Jose Otero.
Hello.
And we are at TGS.
Yes.
And you just played Nioh.
I did.
So what'd you like about it?
So it's interesting because Nioh is obviously an action RPG in the style of Dark Souls, and it is set in the warring period in Japan, so it's based on real history. But the thing that I like about it is that obviously it's taking inspiration in Dark Souls, but it does enough to distinguish itself in combat. There are all these stances and different ways that you can wield weapons. You could sort of use a certain stance and have a different set of dodges and a different set of moves. You constantly have this ability to switch up your attacks and how you approach the game. I think that's really cool. I also like just the Japanese aesthetic of it all. Like, you know, that period in Japan is a very interesting one, and to hear that the locations you're going to are all based in real life. Like, you are at the place, the shrine where Nobunaga Oda was basically like forced to commit suicide. He lost. And that's a footnote in history, but he's also shows up in the game. Like, I think that kind of stuff is cool for people who will appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So aside from that, do you think this game has enough to kind of separate itself from being called just a Dark Souls-like game? Like, there's so many games that people call, you know, Dark Souls-like. It's like, well, is this enough to just be Nioh?
I think so. I think that they do enough in combat to distinguish themselves. Like, yes, their experience system is sort of similar. I think their UI needs a lot of work. Like, I feel like it's a rough-looking UI to look at. It's numbers on numbers on numbers. I think they can sort of pare that down a little bit. But I do think that at the end of the day, the style, the period, and the place do a lot for that game. And it wears me out because I get it, right? Like, we all love our games, and, you know, people love their Mustangs, but, you know, Chevrolet didn't stop making Corvettes because another sports car existed. Like, I think it's good for the competition of both brands, and I feel like if Nioh gets it right out of the gate, that's an awesome thing because it'll just lead to, okay, well, what will Dark Souls do to sort of step its game up? But I feel that overall, like, it does distinguish itself. It has the right feel. It has the right difficulty. And by the way, did you know you're fighting yokai in that game?
Yokai?
Yes. Being set in Japan? Yeah, just
so, Yokai Watch, you gonna find any of them in there?
The comparison is very interesting to me because obviously it's two different interpretations.
Yeah, it's like yokai are not limited to Yokai Watch, but the idea of, like, what if one of them just pops up?
Yeah, no, these are not cute and friendly. These want to rip your face off. So but it's cool. Like, I like that part of it, and I think that ultimately, what we saw of Nioh at TGS, the new demo area, and you can see that footage on IGN. It will continue to pique your interest as that we get closer to, it comes out in February 2017.
Oh, awesome. So for more on Nioh and from TGS, keep it on IGN.